Show us your tips. Midweek preview time, Daggy and Beaver with you to look to Sandown on the Lakeside track on the 6th of July, 2022. Are you travelling, Beaver, on the mend?
Travelling okay, mate. Got struck down after the show last week with a bit of illness, but 3 or 4 days later on the mend and not quite firing on all cylinders, but getting there.
Good to see you looking much better and sounding much better than you did last Thursday. So
Yes.
That's good. We're heading to Sandown. Just quickly, though, we mentioned thoughts with everyone doing a bit tough in Sydney and on the east of New South Wales. Plenty of rain around, and I hope everyone's staying safe and getting through it okay. Thoughts of everyone doing it a bit tough there.
Yeah, and thoughts go out to young jockey Lee Kilner, who had a bad race for a real unfortunate one, actually, where the horse just collapsed in front of her and went down head first and serious injury. And let's hope, fingers crossed, and prayers are with her and her family and friends. And hopefully she comes out on the better side of things after that unfortunate accident.
Well said. I think there was a bit of a response from her today, which is good. So as you can only reiterate that as well. Thoughts with her and the family there. We're heading to Sandown for tomorrow with Warwick Farm moved to later in the week. In fact, moved to Canterbury later in the week. So I may even touch on a couple of tips there on Thursday morning, should it go ahead. But we'll head to Lakeside where the rail is in the true. Track's currently rail's in a 4 metre mark. In fact, track's currently soft and should be a drying day. So a nice bit of cut out of the ground. Probably don't want to be too far off the rail in the pace. As usual at Lakeside, we kick off with a maiden over the 1,200 metres. And this is a very interesting way to start the day, Beaver. Do you like anything?
Yeah, Daggy, an interesting opening event. Some interesting chances here, a few from the Waller stable. But I'm going to settle on the favourite hypothetical. As you said, you want to be up and near the pace, and I think this horse will probably jump and run from the strong Freedman stable, and Billy Egan's riding as good as anyone at the moment. Was well found in its maiden race on the heavy going. I expect some improvement from that, and hardest to beat.
Yeah. The on-pace aspect sets up nicely here. Just nabbed late on debut. A couple of interesting runners. Nakone Express resuming after nearly 2 years. Looked to be a talented horse, but not entirely sure about the jump outs, but we'll see how it resumes. And Nation Pride's come down from Sydney where it's ran okay provincial grade at Kembla and Newcastle for the Freeman team. First up for Mick Price and Mick Kent Jr. Really nice trial, first time for the yard. It was a mid-prep trial, so that was a bit flattering, but did bolt in, and interested to see maybe it's come down here looking for some better tracks. So interested to see how that lines up, but hypothetical on top from 3 and 4 there. Race 2, 2,100 metre girls benchmark 70. Isn't this a bit of a gala? Not really a race I want to bet into. I thought I might spec something on Young Hostess, who gets an inside gate, Daniel Moore, and is going okay. And maybe even Love Takes Time, who will roll forward here. Sat outside lead last start. And it's actually been back just looking here. Sat outside lead last start. Will be on pace and might give you a sight, but not particularly that interested in investing too much here, Beaver, yourself.
Yeah, it's one of those races where these horses tend to mix it up, which one wins. But on exposed form, I went for Chatelaine from the Paddy Payne stable over the 2,100. Again, stepping up that extra distance now. Won the last 2 in nice fashion. And when Paddy Payne gets horses going well, they tend to continue to hold their form, and gets the 3 kilo claim here from Young Lawrence. So I think it gets in nice pull in the weights around the $6.50 mark. I think it's a nice each way bet.
Lovely. The mile benchmark 70 is race 3. I'm going to give Kirribilli one more chance here. Alana Kelly goes on it. Pulled up with pulled up lame, which didn't help, and also pulled up with, I believe, a heart issue. And they tend to bounce back okay from that. I think it's a talented horse, at least more talented than Benchmark 70, what we've seen before. So for giving that around the $4, if it's around $4, I'm happy to find out and give it one more crack, only because I really cannot find any else I want to even entertain here. Did you have a thought on this?
Yeah, I was kind of the same as you. I thought this is not a strong race, and Kiribui at $3.70 probably offers reasonable value,
Mm.
but the first up failure was a bit too much. So I did go looking, and I came up with red on red. I thought again it'll probably sit pretty close to the speed. Uh, Gets in a kilo lighter than its last win, but steps up a little bit in grade, but has Preble on board. Fairly consistent type of horse. Rarely runs a bad race. Uh, Out now to the 1600 where it won last start. I think it can run well.
Race 4 is a Benchmark 64 over the 1400 meters. Another one I'm forgiving. Coming back from Saturday grade to here is Bold Hoi Ho, who gets a claim for Michaela Lawrence, who may have an okay day. With her using her weight advantage in some of these on some of this rain affected track, but has ridden the pace on debut and won well, and it was a nice win second up back, and just was never a factor last time. And giving it one more chance, dropping back a little bit here. And again, it was another race where I struggled to really find another chance. The resuming healing game, had it been drawn slightly better, may well fit in well here at double figures. But a tricky race here, Beaver. What do you do?
Yeah, I went for Masterful around the $5 mark. First up this prep, beat the horse I tipped in the first race in hypothetical and won quite comfortably. So that form line will be a good pointer for this. Then went to town last start and ran a nice little race 4 lengths off Cardinal Gem, which subsequently backed that up on the weekend. I think coming back to, as you said with your selection, coming back from to midweek class is a bit of a relief in class, and therefore I think it can run well again.
Excellent. Race 5, Benchmark 70 over the 1400 meters here. Key form lead up coming through that Cranbourne race a couple of weeks back. What have you done here?
Yeah, I think that the two favourites have it to himself again here. Copperfield and Sacred Command. I think they'll fight the race out. They battled it out last start, and Copperfield was too strong, and I think that'll probably looks the case again here. Drawn gate 2. Probably, I know it's meeting at probably 2 kilos worse, but beat it fairly convincingly last time. I think it can get the right run here and be a little bit too strong, but certainly Sacred Command has a huge chance.
I'm sticking with Copperfield. I did think it won with all honours there. It gave it a start, reeled it in, and
Yep.
ran away. So happy to stick with Copperfield after covering a bit of ground too. It draws well here to be a bit close to the speed, which will suit. So I'm happy to stick with Copperfield, and I'll have something small and Derive, who its whole go in life is second up. I think it runs a Tony good race is second up. It's going to be 20s inside gate at Lakeside. May well give you a sight. Pretty keen on a race. I think they'll be the two I will be playing. Race 6 is over the mile, Benchmark 64. Undefeated Silent Sorrente comes here off 2 Ballarat synthetic wins. I don't quite know how well it lines up. The last one was good and can sit on pace as it's shown. But top bet, the bet here for me will be Mere Fancy, who won well last time. It was under a good ride for Jamie Mott. Now does go up in weight, does get Stockdale on. Drawn okay. Hopefully by this time of the day we can see they can run on. But I think the win and the form over Literary Magnet with a gap back stacks up really well here and is a nice price to back each way. Silas Rente should be on pace and be hard to beat. But another few chances here that will roll along up on pace as well. Beaver, did anything take your fancy?
Yeah, I went for Mere Fancy as well, purely at the price, $7.50 compared to the $3 mark on the favourite. Look, I thought its first up win was outstanding, beating Chartbuster by 2.5 lengths at Cranbourne, and then wasn't disgraced at Sandown when it then stepped out. It was only a length and a half off them. finishing 7th. That was a pretty tight finish, and then stepped up the extra 200 and beat Literary Magnate, who ran a nice 3rd in the race. I'm just trying to think what ran first and second
Aaron
in the
Bay,
race.
was it the
Yes, it was
Aaron Bay race?
Aaron Bay and Cardinal Gem.
Yeah.
So that again is pretty good form. I think he can run extremely well, hard to beat. And my value in the race is Alaski, 3rd up here. First two runs have been pretty good. If it continues on the upward spiral, can run another nice race.
Lovely. Benchmark 70 over the 1,300 metres is race number 7. All the girls again engaged. Who do you like here?
Yeah, I'm going to stick with Arapuni Princess. It was my value bet last start. I thought it had won the race in the bob. It didn't. Again, I think it lines up quite well here. Same 60 kilos. Gate 1's a bit of a concern because it does like to get back and if it gets the right run, but around the $4 mark, I think that is a reasonable price in this affair, with a close watch on the Kiwi Invader, Passione.
Yeah, interesting resumer. Same for me. Don't think I want to bet. I may as well, and I'll probably, my bet in the race will likely be each way Lady Doro, even though she hasn't won for a year. Going all right this prep, consistent, claim under the minimum. Don't particularly like the race a lot, but if Arapuni had won last start, maybe I'd be thinking about it differently. Race 8 is the benchmark. I know it's only a lip in it. That all being said, race 8, 1,200 meters is a benchmark 70 as well. Just noticed a few scratchings here. We've got the lightly race 6 per 63 resuming. A couple other your favourites all engaged. Beaver, how are you finishing the day?
Yeah, I'm going to finish the day with number 17, Jupiter's, around the $11 mark. Looking for a bit of value here. It's only had the 3 starts, one of those a win, and that was its last start at Geelong before it went out for a long spell, 225-day spell. So resuming here.
Very classy win too.
It was a classy win. Probably get a little bit back here, but I think it potentially has a little bit of quality about it. And so I'm hoping Waller is not just got this in for the run, and it's a genuine winning hope. And at the $11, I'm willing to have a look. And my saver bet would be Manouche resuming as well. It has a little bit of ability. Ran some nice races down in Group 3 company last start at Flemington, beaten by Barb Brader by only 4 lengths. If it can reproduce that type of form, it can win a race like this, that's for sure.
Absolutely. I've got Grand Pope on top. Terrified of how the track might play, though, which is probably why getting a price in may will get a better price because it will be back. But back from 2 Saturday runs to this, on paper, sets up nicely. You've mentioned Billy Egan riding really well at the moment. But I'm terrified of a few resumers. Manouche, the one you mentioned. Jupiter's another one you mentioned, both at a price. So a wider leg of the quaddie, of which 6 per 63 would go in 2. But for the record, nice and clear. Grand Pope, number 6 on top from 13, 17, and 3. For progretracing.com.au, check them out for their free tips, extensive guides, and much more. Beaver, your best and value at Sandown.
Yeah, my value comes up in race 2, number 6, Chatelaine, about the $7 mark. And my best bet comes up in race 5, number 8, Copperfield.
Lovely. My best is Copperfield as well. I really like that last win, and the more I thought about this, the more I thought it's a good bet on the card. My value is going to be Bold Hoi Ho, giving it another chance here for the flying Payne stable. And the best 20s chance, wider than that, I think, is Derive today. Just a bit of a feel there. What have you got up for us in Queensland?
Yeah, up at the Sunshine Coast, where it's a heavy 10. Come up with a few there. Race 3, number 5, Ronley Gal. It's my first bet. Super hard to beat. My next bet is race 5, number 3, Enterprise Mia. I think both those two will be winning. You'll get evens to 6 to 4, somewhere in between. And then my value bet comes up in race 8, number 1, General Dubai.
Lovely. Hopefully that track holds together for us there. And good job, Beaver. Good job. Good luck to my punters, I should say, Sandown. And just a quick thank you to everyone who put up with some of the audio issues with the new equipment last weekend. Hopefully, sounding a bit better tonight, but we'll be back on track for the weekend there. Anything else you want to mention before we go?
Mate, that's about it. That's all she wrote.
No probs. Stay safe, everyone. Hopefully, we get through this next torrential bit of flooding tomorrow, and hope everyone's getting through okay. Until then, talk soon, guys. Check out ProGet Racing and catch you later.